Southern Vangard Radio, DJ John Doe. Eddie Meeks is not to the left of me this week, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, but that's okay. We're gonna keep it moving regardless. Last week actually I was on fall break with my family for whatever reason. For sure in the state of Georgia, not only do we have all the regular Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break, summer break shit, we also have a week in the fall in the last week of September, and we have a winter break in February. So what that basically boils down to is my kids are never in school and they always think they're supposed to be on vacation. So anyway, so that's what was going on with me last week. And this week, man, it's a wonder we've been doing a show this week because we were supposed to record last night. Most of you know that we usually record on a Sunday. And unfortunately, I had some things going on at home that prevented that from happening. And, I'll be damned if we weren't going to do this interview this week. And Meeks has something going on with him personally tonight. He's not able to be here. So regardless, we're going to make this show happen this week. I'm really looking forward to the interview session guests that we had this week. And, episode 305 is going to, if you're listening to the interview session for the first time, go back and listen to episode 305. We drop twice a week. So, anywho, thank y'all for tuning in. Going to be a little different this week, but, fly nonetheless. So, first things first, this is Southern Vangard Radio. We drop twice a week on Tuesdays. It's a mixed show. All the latest and greatest hip-hop cut up by yours truly. Done right. And, of course, my partner in crime, Eddie Meeks, and I are just, having a ball and kicking back, drinking beer and bourbon and, just fucking around and having a great time. And then on Thursdays, we have an interview session with an MC or DJ or producer or A&R type folk or photographers or, basically anyone, that kind of reps what we rep, here on the show from a hip hop standpoint. So make sure that you follow on all your platforms. Basically any podcast platform, that you prefer or you listen to regularly, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Stitcher Radio. You can catch us on YouTube as well. We post the mix. There's no video for the mix on Tuesdays on YouTube, but you do catch a video of the interview sessions on Thursdays when those post. So whatever platform it is, make sure you go follow, like, share, subscribe, retweet, repost, tell somebody, tell a friend. We would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right. So without any further ado, this brother right here, I've actually been sitting there. There are two records that I've been sitting on all year, not all year, but a good part of the year. That, it was really hard for me to keep under my hat, but I did. One of them was I did cuts for a Lord Juco record that dropped a couple of weeks ago that Vinny Paz was on. It was a fucking burner that I love. And then another one is with this gentleman right here, and it features legends. I say that in the with the utmost respect and seriousness. BREWIN Al SKRATCH. It's a real honor to be on this on that record with these brothers. So first off, I got to thank this guy for bringing me into the fold on this project. But ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the one and only Maticulous.
Hey, what's good, man?
How are you,
Thanks for
man?
having me. I'm good. That was a dope little intro there. I'm not just blowing smoke, right? I'm really excited to be a part of this record, and thank you for having me on there. Absolutely, man. It was it was great to work with you. I heard your stuff through SCIENIDE, and I was like, oh man, let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see if he'd be down to do this, and it worked out great because you killed it.
Yeah, man. Thank you. So I'm just going to let you talk about the record. Obviously, there's a lot more records out than the one that I selfishly was just talking about that I was featured on. But why don't you run us through, No Caps is the LP. It's out now. I believe digital and vinyl's out everywhere. But just run us through it, man. Tell us what it's about.
Yeah, man. It came out October 1st. And so it's been out a couple days. And basically just started through the pandemic, just being locked down. And I was rolling out the LP with Justo the MC called County of Kings, and it came out May 15th of last year. So I was just, you know, in that mode, but at the same time I was locked down. I was just making beats every day. I'd wake up, listen to records, and against my better judgment, I decided to do another producer album and test my patience to the ultimate degree.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah. When offline. I hit you up about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's my favorite record I've ever done, probably because of the circumstances, and I didn't really have I didn't have a direction. I usually have like some sort of direction, but as I'm making these beats, I'm just like they fit very well together. And that's usually how it comes with me. Like it's a 3-4 month stretch where I'm making stuff, and then it's kind of formed and gets cohesive. And that's how I like to work. So, but yeah, just kind of being in the pandemic and trying to make as much as I could. And it turned into making a producer record.
Yeah. So it's been what, 5 or 6 years since your last producer project?
Yeah.
Is that right?
2015. Okay. It was the Meticulous LP.
Got it. Okay. All right. So was it any easier this time around, or all the same kind of trials and tribulations that come with putting something like this together?
Oh man. It was probably the same, because there was, you know, it was like delays and schedule conflicts and stuff like that. But then with the vinyl, the album was actually done in May, and I got, you know, I'm doing vinyl for it, and it just keeps, the vinyl, they say, keeps getting pushed back. So I don't want to make people wait long when they buy something, because I see like you buy something and it's like, oh, it's not shipping until March of next year or some shit.
All the pre-order shit, right? Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I once they said it would be done like end of November, December, I was like, October 1st is a good time, because I've been sitting on this shit for 5 months. I'm like, you know, what better time than now, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So you want to run through the guests? Do you know them off top?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there's Homeboy Sandman, Skyzoo, Justo the MC, KEV Brown and SCIENIDE, Guilty Simpson, Al Scratch, BREWIN, yourself, XO and YU from Diamond District, a Rim from the Duck Down crew.
Yeah.
This dude Beatty, he's from Pittsburgh, near where I'm from originally. He used to be in a group. He used to be in a group with Mac Miller.
Oh, really? Okay.
Early.
Okay.
And then Mav from The Cloth and Ill Conscious.
So was this kind of did you have a wish list, and like these were just what worked out, or were you able to get done like what you had kind of set out to when you started putting this together? Or
it always turns out for the best, but my idea originally was to have 2 MCs from a city, and you know, I wanted, you know, whatever, like Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Detroit, anywhere I was thinking of.
Sure.
But that just didn't materialize at all. So I wanted to have 2 features on that would complement each other very well on the track.
Got it. Okay.
And the first joint that I always wanted to work with YU and XO on the same track. I've done beats for YU and stuff before. He's been on my stuff, but I wanted them both on one of my tracks. That was like the first thought I had.
Okay.
And that was the first joint that was done.
And his features are kind of sparse these days, right? Like I feel like they are.
Yeah. I think. But I forget. Yeah. So then, from there, I just went to like Brooklyn with Skyzoo. You know, I've wanted to work with him, and I've done 2 previous albums with Justo. Our last album's called County of Kings.
Right.
Obviously, he reps Brooklyn hard, so I was like, they would sound great together.
Yeah.
And of course, Jay and Kev, like they already have that chemistry, so it just kind of it worked out from there.
Of course, yeah. It's a good mix, man. And we were actually able to, you let us world premiere the single The first single, which was Homegoing with Guilty. Yeah. That's a banger, man. I don't know if I told you or not, but I did a Homeboy Sandman show when he came through Atlanta a couple weeks ago. Work. Yeah, and actually I played that, and the sound system, the PA at the club that we were at, 529. Man, that shit was rumbling. I mean, that shit was knocking, man. So
I'd love to hear that, man.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's crazy though? So when I did the joint with Homeboy Sandman, I was mixing Homegoing, so he got to hear it before it was just me and Jake Palumbo and Homeboy Sandman.
Oh,
and
really?
He liked it too. So yeah, it was dope.
Oh, he did? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's weird though, right? Because I mean, especially now, especially the past 18 months, because that was the first DJ gig I'd done since January 2020, I believe.
That was February 2020.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's the last one.
That's fucking crazy. So
it is.
But obviously it's always different when you hear joints, on a system like at the club, right?
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
You can really tell. I mean, you can tell, here, obviously when you're in the studio, like if it's been properly mixed and mastered and all that, but you can really tell when you're at the club, and like when that joint dropped, I was just like, oh, okay, like
that's dope.
You know what I mean? So
that's dope. They let you play that in the club?
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you get me to.
I'll take it. I'll take it, man. I would love to hear that shit.
Well, it's kind of ill because Fred Ones happened to be in town that weekend, so he came through, and after I got out, I think I played it in the first set, like kind of I played for 30 or 45 minutes before the first act came on, and I was talking with Fred afterwards, and he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I only recognize one song. Well, I actually, what I did is I just went into my episode 300 folder, and I just played all new shit for 45 minutes, basically. Dope. Yeah. So that was in there. Yeah. And we were talking about it, and that's just kind of how it worked out. So I every time I play out now, unless there's some sort of request, man, I still try to play the new shit when I'm out. You know what I mean? Because
that's what's up. Yeah.
That's what Fred and I were talking about.
How's anyone going to know? Because there's a lot of music out. And a lot of it's not good, but there's some shit that you can put people onto that people they just play the 92 or 88 or something before a show. And it's just like, you want to give some kind of different experience here and there,
Yeah, exactly. So I try my best. It's hard not to go that because that's kind of the easy route, but
yeah,
for sure.
And
the first set,
yeah.
So anyway, but the joint was knocking, man. It sounded good. So
that's what's up. That's dope. Thanks.
And then second single, KEV BROWN and SCIENIDE, right? That was the second one, Close Range.
Yep, Close Range.
Okay. All right.
That came about. I hit them up early too because I wanted to work with Jay, and I'd worked with Kev previously on the Mind of a Man record with Justo called Long Way Home.
Yeah,
and I was just hearing the work that they were doing together. It's such good. It sounds fun whenever they do records. It sounds like hip hop. And I was like, I need to get some of that energy. So I sent them that another beat too. Maybe I don't usually send many, but they picked that one. And it ended up, that's one of my favorite joints I've ever done.
Yeah, it's a killer. Yeah. Did a video for it too, right?
Yeah, that was fun. They came up and we shot it on a rooftop. That was a fun day.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All the rap hands.
Oh yeah.
Kev in the rap hands.
I try not to do it, but Kev was on the roof. He's like, rap hands. I'm like, fuck it,
You got to, man. Kev's the king of rap hands.
I mean, Kev's doing it. He's fucking killing it. Fuck it. And I look at it and I'm like, that looks cool.
Yeah,
whatever.
Absolutely.
Man. It feels good. It feels good, man. You hear something, you get a vibe. It's great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh shit, that's funny. So back to this BREWIN Al Skratch record, man. Like, why did you think to put those two together? Was it just
well, Breeze used to work at Fat Beats, and he left I forget what year he left. I think it might have been like a year before I got there. And I was a fan and I had no idea he worked there. I just didn't know. And they're like, yo, Breeze worked here. And I, the Prince Paul, Prince Among Thieves shit, the Juggernauts, Clear Blue Sky stuff, like huge fan. And he didn't do that many features. He's done a few more recently, but always wanted to work with him. And actually met him. It took forever to meet him, like 6-7 years. But I went to a album release party for J-Zone. And I had a couple copies of my EP, the Meticulous EP that Fat Beats put out. Okay. And he just caught one off the strength.
Really?
I never met him before.
Okay. See, there's one. Oh, see, he's getting the trash. See, the trash has to go out tomorrow.
He's doing a good job.
That's Young Rhodes. Yeah, Meticulous says you're doing a good job, bud.
How you doing, man?
Good night. I love you, buddy.
That's awesome. I can't imagine having a kid that old. My daughter's 7. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, do I have a 7-year-old? No, I don't have a 7-year-old, but I've got a 10-year-old, and we're close. Happens fast, man. They keep really they keep on saying it. I didn't realize it until like all of a sudden I just turned around one day and like I'm looking up to this kid and like I can't kick his ass anymore. He's 6'5". It's fucking crazy.
He's 6'5". Holy shit,
man.
I just thought you had small doors. God damn, he's so tall.
He's fucking massive, man. He has a homecoming, his first homecoming like big deal thing like next week, and we had to go get him some like clothes and shit for the dance or whatever. And man, we walked into the store tonight, and everybody's just like, what is this? Like, I don't even know we have clothes in here for you right now, dude.
You gotta go to like the Big and Tall store.
Yeah. I thought that's what we were gonna have to do for real.
Be like, you guys do rentals,
right?
Oh man.
Oh shit. All right, back to Breeze Brewing. So you finally met him, J-Zone show. He picked up a CD.
Vinyl.
Vinyl. Okay.
It's had a Fat Beats logo on it. So that was, dope. I mean, I told him, that's just dope. One of your, people you look up to buys your shit off the strength.
Huge.
So we've stayed in contact, crossed paths many times, and
good brother too.
I hit him. What's that?
Good brother too.
Oh man,
good dude.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
So I sent him that joint. I just heard him on it. I just after I worked on it, I was like, man, Breeze would destroy this. And then it was between one other MC that he didn't work with, and then Al Skratch, and I decided to go with Al Skratch just because it's just so you would not expect them on a track together.
Not at all.
No, and I think they complement each other very well.
I gotta say, man, when you sent the track, I was like, Breeze Brewing and Al Skratch, like, what is this gonna sound like? And then I played it, I was like, oh, this is fucking perfect. Not that I wasn't expecting it to sound amazing, but I mean, just like what you said,
but when you look at it, you're like, what the
yeah, and like, they both obviously have, two totally different styles and approaches, and man, it's just like, it's fucking great record, man.
And I feel like cuts were the only way to go with that hook, and you crushed it, man. Every time I play that record for someone, like, yo, who did the cuts?
Yeah. Dope.
So I mean, it's official.
It just feels like a classic New York record to me. You know what I mean? Like
thanks, man.
You know what I mean? Like we're both obviously not from there originally.
Right.
But man, that thing is just oozing, just classic New York to me. So,
thank you, man. Yeah, that's cool. We actually have a video for that coming out. Probably going to be closer to the end of the month.
Oh, dope.
For that joint. Yeah.
Now Al did the video, right? Or did they do the J-Sign?
Classic Material and Al Skratch, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos,
They're the Basquiat brothers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They did both my videos. We actually shot the Breeze one first.
Oh, you did? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I forget what month that was, but we actually we recently then did the J-Cyanide KEV Brown one.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, we had Carlos on a year or two ago, maybe now. I think we had him on the show.
Oh,
yeah, good guy.
Yeah, man.
And
that's my homie. That's the big bro.
We haven't had Al on yet. I don't know why that hasn't happened. We got to figure that out.
I'll tell him he needs to come on.
Yeah, man, we need to make that happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So when's the?
He's got some shit coming out. Like I know he's working on stuff. So yeah.
Well, yeah, there was about a month or two where he was dropping joints like every Friday, and he was
they're like freestyles.
Yeah, and they were killer. Yeah, and we were playing them. Carlos was sending them to me, so we were dropping them every week because they were. And then he actually did one with Kev that was killer too. And
the Kev beat. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So so the new video is gonna drop shortly.
Probably the end of the month, probably. Because I got a couple things I have to, do before that, and I just want to.
All right.
Let it breathe a little bit. Let the close range breathe a little bit because I just put it out like 10 days ago or something like that. So
yeah. Cool. So one that I did want to ask you about, because this guy is one of my favorites, has been one of my favorites, and has actually been one of our, in my opinion, like kind of one of our marquee interviews. Or well, probably not marquee. I would say, marquee would be fine, but I would say like one of my personal favorites was Matt from The Cloth.
Okay.
Yeah, like how did that come together?
I was listening to some of their music, and he stood out to me. I just like his delivery and his flow. And I remember making that beat, and I had Ill Conscious on it. He didn't spit his verse, but I sent him the beat, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I wanted someone to compliment him, and I guess they've worked together a few times. I didn't know that before because I usually look that stuff, but they worked together a couple times, and I just wanted him especially over something different than he normally comes on, like just something like funky, soulful, And then I knew Ill Conscious would crush that too, because his delivery cadence, it's crazy.
Yeah. So you gonna do instrumentals for this thing, man, or what do you think?
I might, maybe. We'll see. Okay. What do you think? Should I? I've never done an instrumental for an album. I've done instrumental projects, but I've never released instrumentals for my records.
Well, my thought on that, this is kind of like a soapbox topic for me. Is one is, and this is just me, like we always need instrumentals to talk over, and we get a lot of shitty beats regularly. So there's that. So very selfishly, there's that. And number two is, man, I just feel like the shit's sitting there. So like, I mean, like, why not? I mean, with Bandcamp and, maybe you can make it a Bandcamp only release, or I don't know. I just kind of feel like there are a lot of people too, I think, that like to listen to hip hop and, don't care for rhyming. Like they just want instrumentals. So, I'm always curious on folks' approach to, instrumentals and, things like that. So I love them because I can listen to it with my kids in the car too, right? My kids got.
Yeah. I just sometimes like to keep them close to the chest because they're intended for one artist, and people get the beats, and that's cool if you do it on the radio or whatever. But sometimes people will put the shit out, and
that's true.
It just kind of, I don't really like that much.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. All right,
I could send you the instrumental if you want.
That's up to you, man. I'm beggars can't be choosers. But all right, cool, dude. Well, what else you want to say about this, my man? Anything else you want to talk about that hasn't been covered? I don't, press wise or what's a sleeper joint? Like what's a joint that is really personal for you or means a lot?
Well, I mean, in terms of working with the artist, it means a lot, but actually releasing the second track, called Everything with Skyzoo and Justo, that beat I've been sitting on since 2012. And, I've shopped that beat to anyone you could think of, but it's not direct to them. It's somebody's man. And I really thought that beat would be placed, major label type shit, just because of the way it sounded. But I was doing a beat showcase thing. And one of the producers, do you remember the Buchanans that produced What More Can I Say for Jay-Z?
Yeah.
They were one of the judges, and I played that beat, and they asked me if they could buy it. And I don't know if I should have sold it, but at the time I'm like, nah, I'm holding this for myself. Like, something's going to happen with this. If you're asking me to buy it, like, so I was like, nah, it's time. It's time now to put it out. And I was like, who the fuck would sound really good on that shit? Skyzoo. And he was cool as shit. Killed it. And it was kind of a, I was sitting on it too long. It was one of those things where I need to fucking put it on the project, and it fit on this very well.
Yeah. Damn, 2012. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
It's been in at least 10 different MCs' hands, hopefully at some point, but it never materialized,
Why does that happen? I still don't. It's so, I hear so many stories about that happening. Like, and I've made beats too. I'm just like, I played things for things, and I thought for sure, like this is fucking nuts, man. Like, you're gonna kill this, and they're like, nah.
And it's crazy. Like, if you play it for other producers, they're like, "Oh shit!" And then like you play it to MC, they're like, "I don't know what I can do with it, man. I don't know." It's like, seriously,
it drives me crazy.
But yeah,
nuts.
Fucking hip hop, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that rap shit. Oh man. All right, cool, dude. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your backstory, because you mentioned Fat Beats earlier. And I admittedly did not know. I knew a little bit about it, but I didn't know about, like, you and I started talking a little bit about, your Fat Beats history and J57. I think we kind of started talking about that a bit, but can you give me a little backstory on, you mentioned Pittsburgh as well. So
yeah. So I'm from a small town, like 60 miles away from Pittsburgh, like 3,000 population, really, really small.
Okay.
So I went to a state school, like halfway between Pittsburgh and State College, called IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I started I did a radio show, but for my internship, I wanted to go to New York. So I got an internship with DJ Honda. So I did that for like almost 3 months, but then I wanted to do something else because I wasn't really happy there. So I went to Fat Beats, and they took me in, and I used college credits. And then when I graduated, they ended up hiring me. But I was an intern for a while, like was there for maybe 5 or 6 months. And then, J57 came, Audible Doctor, E Holla, who is Torre's DJ.
Yeah.
And then, I was the buyer manager of that store for 3 years. And then I went to the warehouse and did international sales, West Coast sales, and A&R. And
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, this.
So what years were these?
So I started in 2004.
Okay.
And I left in October of 2010.
Okay.
Just because, like, I really wanted to focus on being an artist as opposed to the business stuff, because the business stuff was kind of frustrating, and it wasn't right for me. I always wanted to do the art thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Working at the store was dope though, because you're like meeting fans and shit. And
of course, yeah.
Chop it up about music. But yeah, so I that's how it went with Fat Beats. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. I wish I was making beats heavier back when I was at the store, but I was still like learning everything. But
sure.
Yeah, you met everybody. Could have slide beat CDs to anybody.
Yeah,
it was dope. It was surreal to work there, for sure.
So 2004 to 2010. So they closed what, 4 or 5 years after you left, right? When in 2014?
No, they closed in 2011.
Oh, they closed in 2011.
September 2011. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a little bit later than that. Okay, so they closed shortly after you left then.
Yeah, not a year after that. But really? I wasn't at the store at that point. I was coming in here and there to look over stuff, but like I was mainly at the warehouse in Dumbo.
Gotcha.
Sorry, that's the neighborhood involved.
I thought you said you were a Dumbo.
Oh no. That's where the
neighborhood Dumbo. Okay,
Dumbo.
I got you.
Yeah,
I
Dumbo.
got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
That's hilarious.
All right.
So yeah, and then Fat Beats put out my first project, the Meticulous EP.
Yeah.
And the feature track was the joint called Body the Beat with Rusty Jokes, Rock, and R.A. the Rugged Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there it went from there.
So you did radio. I didn't realize that. College radio.
Yeah, I did college radio for 2.5 years.
Okay.
It was really dope. I loved doing college radio, man.
Yeah.
Like playing all those Raucous records in that back in the day. Like nobody was checking for that stuff. Like I was so happy to put people on to that shit.
Yeah, man. That's why this show existed. That's why this show exists, because I did college radio from 95 to 99.
Okay.
And then I did it for that's at Western Kentucky, and then I did it for about another year at Vanderbilt in Nashville because I lived there and I knew folks that were there. But man, that was the best time.
It is, yeah.
And when Meeks and I were kind of trying to figure out like what we were gonna do, like we just wanted to do something, and I was trying to think of like, I just wanted to like do something that was super fun. I've been through a bunch of shit personally and professionally, and I had kind of stepped out of music for a little while. And I was like, man, I got to get back into this shit, man. Like this is like brings me too much joy. I don't even care what it is. And I was like, what's the most fun I ever had? Like period with this music shit. I was like, it's when I was doing the radio show.
That's great, man. That's fucking great. And that's what it's about.
Yeah. And then the podcast shit was popping off. And I was just like, well, nobody's really doing like a podcast mix show. Not really. There were a few folks doing it, but it was mostly talking. I'm like, fuck it, man. We're just going to start a mix show. So
that's what's up. You said, how long have you been doing it?
It's 7 years this January.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's dope.
For better or worse.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, man, you say college radio, I'm like, my ears perked up because I automatically go to my happy place when I hear college radio, man. So.
And opening up the new promos that would come to your station. It's just so like, good. God damn. Yeah.
So good. And I did so much dumb shit. Like the radio station that I was at, of course I had like a 10 to 2 slot, right? It was all late night. And I had to carry all my shit to the station every week. Turntables.
That's love.
3-4 crates of records. Like I think one year I had 2 shows a week. I had Sundays and Wednesdays. I did not give a shit, man. I was like, we are doing this, man. I was having a blast.
When I first moved here and got DJ gigs like 2004, 2005, 2006, I was taking cabs, putting my records in a car.
Yeah.
It was such a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah. And I love that I did it, but I would not want to do that today.
God, man.
Hell no.
Serato is so great, man. Even like when I did that Homeboy Sandman show a couple weeks ago, I'm still like amazed. I'm just like, well, I have my laptop bag and my needles and my slip mats.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. And it took me a while to get Serato. Like I was still DJing vinyl up until 2017, I would say.
Oh, dude. So I was the same way. I was fighting that shit.
Yeah.
Tooth and fucking nail. And this show actually is what pushed me over the edge because I was like, I'm not going to be able to get any new records. You know?
No. Yeah, nobody's doing promo copies.
No, man. And I'd been out of the game so long. Like it's not like I had any like relationships because I had stepped away for so long. Like it was all weird anyway, blog era and all that shit, you know.
Yeah, man. And you know what's talking about promos, the first promo that I got as an intern at Fat Beats was the Mad Villain record.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Wow. I was like, this is the fucking best internship ever, you know? Like, yeah. That's a good one to get, the first one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good shit. So talk to us. It didn't sound like the Honda thing went too well, but like, what was that like?
So it was one of those things where you apply on it. I forget what it was. Was it Monster or what was one of those sites back then?
Okay.
Where they're like, we need an internship. or we need an intern. You'll learn about the music industry. And there was like, you would work in the studio sometimes. I'm like, that's where I need to be. That's where I need to learn. Yeah. And it was not that. It was not that at all. And yeah. So I was just like, man, I gotta, it sucked though, because it was really hard to get an internship at Fat Beats back then in 2004. So I called them every day for a month because I knew I wanted to leave Honda. And finally, like, all right, come in. Like, all right,
you bothering Eclipse?
I'm like, yeah, no. Eclipse was on tour.
Oh, he was on tour.
Eclipse was on tour. So there were two other dudes there that were the manager and the buyer. They worked together. Okay. And I guess they wanted to make sure I actually wanted to intern there. Yeah. So, it was great, man. Like first time I walked in there, I was like, I can't believe this shit exists. A whole wall of records that I've never seen before in person.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's cool.
But, yeah, man, it was a cool experience, especially, just being an underground head, working at Fat Beats, ended up running the store. It was dope.
Yeah. Prime time for all that shit too, right? Like a great time for indie shit.
I caught the tail end. Like, the Def Jokes era was a little bit before me, like the raucous Def Jokes era where the indie blew up. But I was like, I came in the tail end of like the Mad Villain, J-Lib type stuff.
Right.
Gotcha. So that was around that time, which was great.
Yeah. It's funny.
It was dry in like 2005, 2006. It was kind of,
did it really? Okay.
Yeah. Not too much like crazy indie stuff. There was some dope shit, but it was kind of,
Yeah. Well, you hear stories about that, like about just, all the I guess tests they put you through to like get hired at Fat Beats. I've heard similar stories from J57 just about all the wild shit that he did to try and get a job there or keep his job there, or what all the juggling he had to do to kind of keep keep that going. It seems like I've heard multiple stories about that, because there's probably folks walking into the store all the time like wanting a job, right?
Totally. Yeah. And then it got a little easier because I don't know, I guess maybe because of the internet and like I don't know. I feel like that played a part. Everything got a little bit more lax. Like it wasn't like this prestigious thing towards the end. But like I damn sure called them every day for a month, and that wasn't happening when I was working there for sure. But it is what it is.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Shit, man. What else you want to get into? I think let's talk about. Well, let's see here. Can we talk about the upcoming album with Justo, or
sure?
Yeah, what's going on with that, man?
I've
heard one joint.
Yeah. You're on it.
Yeah.
You're on it. We just finished mixing it on Saturday.
Okay.
So it's done being mixed. We'll send it off to mastering. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to put it out. I'm going to let my record breathe a little bit.
Okay.
And ship the records out in November, December-ish, something like that.
Okay. So before the year's out.
No, it's going to be next year.
It will be next year. Okay, gotcha.
We're going to release it next year for sure. Because my shit just came out 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And we're already in October. So,
right.
Yes, but we were actually working on that record during the time we were finishing County of Kings, because we were mixing and mastering it, and it like we had sporadic parts, and then the pandemic hit, and so he just knocked out like 5 or 6 more songs, and we've been mixing, I don't know, maybe the last 3 months, basically. Okay. So yeah, it was weird how it turned out. Like I'm releasing an album, and then we're already done with this one. Basically, just need to master it and figure out how we're going to put it out.
Where's that relationship come from? How'd that develop?
So it was crazy because I was looking to like I wanted to get out of the producer compilation shit, and I was looking for one dude who I felt was hungry and was versatile to rap over different style beats in one project. And a couple people like Carlos from Classic Material, he was one of the dudes that said, you should hit up Justo. And then somebody else told me hit up Justo, and I was going up to do an interview at Sirius XM, and he was doing an interview with the B Shine. Do you remember who the B Shine did all the videos? Yeah. So he was doing a video with Justo, and they introduced us.
Okay.
So we just I sent him a couple beats. He gave me 2 songs within, I don't know, a week or 2. And one of them ended up being our first single called Man Up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked his style, and we became friends ever since. And it's just fun to work on music with him, because it's just like, we're just trying to do the best we possibly can with, just not sounding like everybody else, basically.
Yeah, I think you guys have a great chemistry together. Like every record,
thanks,
every record you guys put out, it just fits. So,
thanks, bro.
It's hard to find that.
That's my homie.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's like a lot of music sounds forced and like formulaic, and a lot of it sounds the same. So I always try to break away from that.
Yeah.
Whether it's to my own best interest or not.
Right.
Because like people are like, that doesn't sound like anything
Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah. So it's dope working with him, man.
Yeah. Big up Justo.
Yeah, that's what's up.
All right, man. All right. So tell us where we can get the new record. No caps.
You can get it anywhere digitally, anywhere you stream and do all that shit. But the vinyl is strictly through my Bandcamp, which is meticulous21.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Or you can order a copy from hhv.de. They will have a limited number of copies. Some overseas customers get your order in, because it is a nightmare shipping overseas from a regular post office. It takes 4 weeks, and a lot of times it's damaged. So if you want to get it from HHV, I suggest that, because it's not going to come from very far. I've talked to J-Zone about this a lot. He's like, man, shipping overseas is such a bitch. And I'm like, yeah,
really?
A lot of times you got to refund people their money because it comes like warped or cracked. Like I've seen people have sent me pictures. I'm like, how the fuck is that possible?
Yeah.
So like HHV always does a really good job, especially, closer proximity to people. But they always do really well with my music. They move through it all the time. So
yeah, they do a lot of I guess this type or this who else just put their shit out through then? Cardi P put his shit out through HHV, and I see them pop up a good bit here lately. It's kind of like they got a niche for that, I guess.
Yeah, overseas, for sure. And the overseas, they love it, and they support. So
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And what about your socials, man? Where can you go check you on social media?
Hit me Meticulous on Instagram, MATICULOUS, and then Twitter's Meticulous21. You go to meticulousmusic.com. If IG crashes and Twitter crashes, you can still buy my shit instead of looking at Instagram.
I feel like you need to start giving out your email now.
Yeah, right.
In case social media goes down.
At AOL.com, at Yahoo. Yeah.
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, was it even down for 24 hours?
No, no. It was like 5 or 6, and everyone was like, "What if it's down forever?"
It was on NPR, like this, like on the news this evening, and like they were talking about it, like this had never happened before, and like this is anomaly of an event. I'm just like, oh, man, somebody fucked up something somewhere. Like the shit happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
they had to cover up that whistleblower from last night.
Right, exactly. Oh, absolutely. That was the first thing I thought, man. When I saw it, I was just like, oh, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then Twitter's talking about
that 60 Minutes piece.
Sweep that shit right under the rug. We'll take this shit away. Fuck you.
That's right. It's not even going to be on the internet.
That's good, man. Well, man, again, congrats on the album.
Thanks.
Great record. We're gonna get into some joints on episode 305. So if you're listening to this for the first time, go back to episode 305. Make sure you go cop that shit. And
yeah, it's on 180 gram red transparent vinyl.
Oh, nice.
So there's not too many heavyweight color vinyls. So I definitely wanted to do that.
Beautiful. Okay.
So yeah, hand numbered and all that shit, all the special shit.
Good deal. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Thank you, man. Good chopping it up with you.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
All right. All right, y'all.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace.
All right. All right, y'all. Southern Vangard Radio. DJ John Doe. Eddie Cappuccino, South Memphis motherfucking Meeks. Meticulous No Caps is out everywhere. Cop it. Please buy it. Stream it, but buy it. And, support these folks' art, man. It's the least you can do. Again, DJ John Doe, Eddie Cappuccino, South Memphis motherfucking East Macklemore Meeks. We are the Gar Smithsonian Grade, and we out. Peace.